thank you, Nebuchadnezzar. Now, did you fill this up for me like I asked?
Yes.
Oh, it's ready to go, eh? Okay. Nebuchadnezzar. Hello. And welcome back to PepPep's world. I can't smoke my pipe today because Nebuchadnezzar, fool that he is, did not fill my lighter like I asked him to. You know, I don't know what's getting into that boy. But, you know, just recently, I was listening to the news, and over the airwaves came a remarkable story of a man up in Maine who happened upon a bear on a trail while he was walking. Well, the young man, the bear, took off after him, and the young man, he happened to be a, what do you call it, jogger, runner, I guess, I don't know.
Sprinter.
Sprinter, yes. Okay, very good, Nebuchadnezzar.
You're welcome, you old geezer.
So he was a sprinter, and as it turned out, that young man outran the bear. Now that's a remarkable story, isn't it? I'm sure he'll have a story to tell his YouTube followers one day. But, you know, hearing that story brought to my memory of the time that I was mauled by a bear. You see, this happened a few years ago. It was after I lost my sight to 22 HPB, you see. So on this glorious day in springtime in Maine, yes, Maine. I was up there. During this time of the day, I actually had my 2 hours of sight, so I was out enjoying myself for a refreshing walk and enjoying the beautiful foliage of springtime in Maine. And as it would happen, I rounded the bend. You know, I was up in the middle of nowhere, mind you. And there in front of me was a mother bear and 4 cubs. And they were hunched over something, and I could hear grumbling noises, and I could hear the sounds of bones cracking. And as I looked closer, I said, "Oh my, those bears are eating a person. They must have came upon him on this trail." And as I absent-mindedly said that out loud, the mother bear turned her head in my direction, and the little bears followed. And I looked at her in the eyes, and she looked at me. I looked at her, and she looked at me, and I looked at her again, and she blinked. And then she took off after me, and I said, "Oh dear, what am I going to do?" So I turned around, and like that sprinter in Maine, I also ran for my life. Although, you know, I am not a sprinter. Never was. And so, that mama bear careened into me, smashed me to the ground. She was hitting me with the right claw, and then with the left claw, and then with her back claw, and then with her left claw again. And I was warding off the blows, and I was giving her kidney shots this way, that way. I said, "You won't get me lying down," even though I was lying down. And then the little stinker bears, they came on me too, and the little one, he started nibbling on my foot, and I said, oh my. And then the other one came over and started chewing on my kneecap. Then the other two, they started biting on my ears. I thought I was going to die. But then, a most remarkable thing happened. The mother bear stopped her pummeling of me. And she looked at me. And I suddenly had a voice appear in my head. And I could hear her say, you know what, PepPep? You're not like the average humans that we come across on this trail and eat. You're pure of soul. Why, that's why my 4 cubs are playing with you. They're not really biting you, they're just playing. And I said, really? Oh, thank heavens. I thought it was a goner. And the mother bear looked at me, and I could hear her mentally speak. And she said, PepPep, we would never harm you. You know, you're what we like to call in these parts a bear whisperer. And I said, I can hear you clearly, madam. So apparently you're true. And so the little bears started jumping in my lap, and I was petting them and playing with them and pulling lice out of their ears, and we were having a good old time. And the mother bear, she went off and she got us some salmon out of the nearby stream, and we had a wonderful feast. And, well, so as you see, bears, they're not to be feared. If you're pure of heart, like I am, then you will be safe walking those dangerous woods of Maine. There's obviously something in that little jogger's past that the bears didn't particularly care for. And well, all's well that ends well, as I say. And that's my story for today. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up down below. And if you're new to my channel, or if you want to keep up with all things PepPep, please hit the subscribe button down below too. And that's all I have for you today. Please come back next Friday, and I'll share another story with you.
PepPep, don't forget.
What's that, Nebuchadnezzar? Oh, that's right. You know, Nebuchadnezzar, he's been acting very strangely lately. And the other day, he came up to me and he said, PepPep, I'm sorry for being such a jerk. So, please, I have a special surprise in mind for you. And I'm going to keep it a surprise until next Friday. So we'll release it together, or you'll get it together, or you'll be able to share it together in your video. And also, you'll definitely want to come back next Friday to see what Nebuchadnezzar has in store for me. So there you have it. Have a good weekend, and be kind to everybody. Nebuchadnezzar, now get that lighter and fill it up with my fuel. I am dying for my smoke.